got Choisez with us, who's he's like a long-time friend and collaborator of mine.
Come on, my bro.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Nice to be here.
It's all love, bro. It's a pleasure to have you on, bro.
Likewise.
And I wanted to have you on just because I feel like it's a very interesting journey like we've been on, bro. Because like the first one we made together was I think it was Lotus.
Yeah, more than a year ago, for sure.
Yeah. And what? It's about a year ago now.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Time's flown. Like
And
feels
time
like
changed,
I've known you like a lot longer than a year, bro.
Some relationships with people like that,
Yeah.
you never actually realize how much like things you saw together and how fast the time like did fly, because you managed to get to know the person, you managed to speak, you managed to interact, get friends, feel the energy and the vibe, especially when it comes to music. It's one of the most beautiful fields in the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a timestamp to it. It does not have, I don't know, any specifics to it. It's just a matter of energy and vibes, right?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's gotta be what's real, and like what you're saying before. Yeah, like for me, like I always like to make music with people that I feel are like my friends, so it feels like more natural.
Likewise,
and
bro.
genuine that way. Like that's why I won't just sort of just make like a song or a feature with just like anyone, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, bro, like I respect like the intricacy of your craft like so much, bro. Like anyone can hear Lotus, bro. Like can just hear like you're different with it, bro. Like
For sure.
and I feel like Lotus, it's like a very special song because bro, it's literally like the first song we made together, and it's a lot of people like it's one of their favorite songs of mine because like the symbolism like in the video as well, and the lyrics, and of course the like acoustic playing as well. So yeah, man, it's
We should tell them the story about the song as well, because
which story?
if you remember about Lotus, we had the full production done with the drums and the other elements and stuff, and I was so surprised because that was the first time we've met, so we didn't have a chance to actually speak regarding how specifically we want to end up having the project. And then we both added our value when it comes to the track, right? You and your amazing vocals, you and your amazing backings, and your amazing vision towards how the track is supposed to be. I remember how you used to tell me gradually to remove all the drums, gradually remove all of those like synths and pianos and stuff like that. So then eventually we just ended up with just a guitar, a voice, your backings, and then just a tiny bit of a bass there and there. I was so surprised of like how beautiful the result is. And I remember always what you said, less is more, and that's something that I'm putting into practice now when it comes to productions, even though it's easier to do less, right? But not everybody comes to an idea of doing less because you tend to show your skill set, you tend to show everything you learn and stuff, but it's good to back off.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, bro. Well, like that's one of the things like on the production with that track, like I do, we do that when we work, like I tend to cut away like a lot and just we get left with like the bare bones to what's realist, you know what I mean? But
that's legend mindset.
But with that one, like, cause there's no other sort of stuff going on, sort of lets the like vocals sort of shine through a lot more when you just strip back the production. But yeah, man.
So that's actually quite a nice intro. That's like in the movies. When there's a trailer or a little prologue.
Yeah.
I like that, man.
That
brings us to present day, effectively.
Man. But sorry, we were just kind of talking there, but sometimes it's good to just listen as well, isn't it? So,
yeah. I really enjoyed it. It was like a journey, So, I mean, my first sort of thought from that is, how many artists have you had like that were super involved in the production, like to that level? Because I know many people will just take a beat, but he actually came with you and deconstructed the beat, it seems, into just like being something with lots of drums, like you said, to be minimalist. So is he sort of like a rarity in that case, or is that something that happens usually?
Funny enough, we did not have to deconstruct anything. Rather, we had to work based on an idea which Kobe had and which he felt I can bring value to. We right away took the electric guitar. It was a white Fender Strat, which I still have in my studio. We still record songs with Kobe when it comes to the guitar itself. And I was just playing him chords I was just playing him some progressions. I was just playing around. We just like tried to catch a vibe. And Kobe was like, yeah, that's the one of his like calm voice, you know. Like,
so basically, you jammed your way into a song.
Yeah. But then you know, whenever I feel something, whenever I play something, it has to be a matter of a good synergy of the vibes that we both had together in the studio. So whenever I was playing those chords, I was somehow in my head tailor making them for Kobe, right? I was right away thinking of his previous tracks, and eventually, funny enough, again, it ended up being so much different than any other tracks Kobe did before. Like, that was crazy, to be honest.
Yeah, well, bro, I'd been looking for like an acoustic producer for like a while, to be honest, like, and yeah, bro, just one day, like, I think it was like Forever, the track I posted, and like he responded to it. It's like, yeah, bro, it's fire. Like,
I love Forever,
work.
by the way, yeah.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, and actually, it's funny, while we're on the topic of Forever, which is the only other Afrobeats track song I've done, yeah, and I'm gonna be like going to Africa for the next one. So yeah, with an Afrobeats banger, bro.
Going back to the cradle of civilization,
Come
talk
on, bro.
about ultimate pilgrimage.
Bro, yin yang universe vibes, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I think you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it. Just take a little sunscreen.
yeah.
Like,
Have you ever been?
Maybe I'll never come back, mate.
Is that the first time?
Actually, I've been to like Zambia when I was a kid,
Beautiful.
and yeah, it was beautiful. Went to the falls and all that. It was amazing.
But do you guys
it'll be a
notice
very
that
different vibe with the man
it's like a
this
Bible?
time.
You just like go back to it with a different vibe, with a
Yeah.
different like atmosphere and different
Yeah.
like mentality as well. So
Yeah.
it's always good for the music as well to be able to have a break from a busy city such as London, and to also have a chance to enjoy yourself rather than just thinking of your daily things when it comes to your daily life here, you know. So I'm very happy for you, bro. You should enjoy yourself.
Yeah, of course, bro. But yeah, no, it's about, yeah, like the deeper message. It's like, yeah, like I have like a very deep love of like Afro beats, and like I've got a lot of African brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, bro, it's just gonna be, it's like my love, showing my love for all you guys, and for all the world, like, you know, we're making like this more beautiful, better world together. So yeah, man, that's why I think it's important to do this. But yeah, no, you've had a very interesting journey yourself, bro. Like,
yeah, how did you get into the game?
Yeah.
How did you get into producing?
I was like 8 years old, bro. I was like 8 years old, and then my brother used to play in a band, and he used to play bass. And then flirting bass, sometimes people, they buy guitars in order to just practice, because the bass itself, when you don't connect it to the actual amp, it sounds like just a metallic string, right? You don't actually hear it properly.
Yeah, I play bass as well, so I understand what you mean.
So I had that guitar, and then I fell in love with it immediately. Then it took me like 2 years to actually be quite good at it. So when I was like 10, I was able to play quite complex pieces, like River Flows in You. I remember that one. If you guys know
that one, mate. Sorry.
If I would have a guitar, I would show you, but
Yeah.
you know. And then by 12, I was already like very much able of telling how I want my sound to be like. So right away, FL Studio, off the record, cracked.
What, you're on FL Studio on 12, yeah?
Yeah.
On a cracked one,
Yeah,
Picking up respect.
Yeah. And then right away, I was saving my money for my first Mac. I was trying to keep the money from lunches from school when it comes to parents. I was trying to keep my birthday money when I was younger, you know, just to be able to afford one of the MacBooks, which at least would give me a bit more power to work with Logic and stuff. So very young age, very intense learning process. I had great people around me, same as such as yourself. Like whenever you have people who have a vision towards their music, you don't change yours, but you add value to yours as well. You manage to right away think differently, be a bit more open-minded, see things from a different perspective as well. And then, did plenty of like recordings, productions, when moving to London as well, university, it was music production and sound engineering as well that I was studying. So put a lot of hope into it, but then I realized that I was so capable of learning things myself prior to that, that I came here and I right away just had the drive within myself just to be able to get there, to be able to communicate to people, which I admire so much, and to be able to feel their energies and vibes. It's always about that friendship that you said about as well. It's always about a matter of how the person next to you is, how you feel like, how you want to bring a project to life.
And I'll tell you what, like on a deeper point, like what you're just saying there about like all the vibe and stuff, it's like I feel like that's where we have like synergy. Like sorry to jump across you there.
Sure, my bro.
But yeah, bro, it's just like, yeah, like so important that the vibes we send out with the music is like good positive vibes, because I've seen it, you've seen it, like when people just send out like evil kind of vibes, it comes back to them. And yeah, bro, like I've seen from when I was a young age even, they were sort of like pushing this whole agenda onto me, bro, and I got like fucking like addicted to drugs and shit when I was young, because they were pushing all this kind of agenda, and now like I'm older and wiser,
yeah, for
and
sure.
I see this shit and I'm like, why are these fucking like big labels or whatever, why are they pushing this whole fucking agenda and like supporting this? Like, it's just time to put good music into the universe, healing tones, you know what I mean, good vibes, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think it's generally about good vibes, and I kind of respect like any sort of drive towards making more poetic music, but the truth is that a lot of music is just inherently competitive, and that just brings a certain energy that is, not vibey but more adversarial.
Yeah, well,
and there
That's
is something to be
egotism.
said that yes, it's taken advantage of in certain cases, and it should drive towards good vibe, but it's an unfortunate aspect of almost everything we do. Like there's like, not just bad stuff happening in music, anything commercial, oil, food, water.
Yeah, but see, bro,
essential
that's
to
why
for sure.
Yeah,
that's why I'm different, bro, because I'm not commercial, bro.
Yeah.
I don't do this to be
understand.
commercial. I do this to send out good vibes
I get what
and
you're saying.
positivity into the universe.
And that's a respectable notion. And
Yeah.
I mean, if we had that in aggregate, we'd be in a much better place. But it's not it's not a critical mass of actions yet that we can say the world's overwhelmingly positive place. I mean, this is generally the best in human history.
well, that's why it's important that people support the movement, bro. Because
I
if
mean,
they
sure.
support me in the
Yeah, I mean,
movement,
yeah.
then it makes the world a more positive place for everyone.
I mean,
in my opinion, anyway.
For sure. I mean, this is the best. Human history, right? Like, but we still have all these things. This, in terms of progress and achievements, this is the best time. But we still have a lot of work to do. And I just want to sympathize with you, Choisez. I can understand what that must have been like, and hope you're okay, man. Just that's it. So, in terms of going on, your experience with artists, what has that been like generally? Like, who's like your favorite? Maybe what's a funny situation you've been involved in, and what are you sort of working on right now? So you can answer that in any order you want.
I'll just for a second get back to the previous thought.
Yeah.
I appreciate you a lot. I was just about to say one thing. It's very important to be able to leave a good mark when it comes to especially the kids, right?
Yeah.
People who are younger, they don't realize the fact that plenty of people do it only for the clout. They do it only for a stunt, right? You actually need to notice a very good difference of somebody who talks about it and somebody who lives it, right? So same as movie characters, or like, I don't know, any like cartoons you used to watch when you were younger, you tend to have similarities or act like somebody you admire. And in case if that admiration point is something which does not stand out for that much good, and it's mostly evil, as you mentioned as well before, then unfortunately you're gonna disrupt that well-being in the culture, and they're gonna just make people feel quite down, make them feel quite aggressive, make them feel like They want to just show off rather than being able to be themselves. And that's why supporting the movement as well is a very, very good point, because you do need to have some good in it as well. It has to be a balance. It can't be more bad than good. And unfortunately, when it comes to our daily life, especially in a busy city such as London, it becomes quite tricky to be able to differentiate things, right?
Yeah.
And then, getting back to the artists and to the people they used to work with. I know what I'm gonna say right now sounds quite generic, but I actually feel it from the bottom of my heart. People are different, right?
Of course,
Very, very different. Everybody comes with their own value when it comes to yourself, right? So I would not be able to pick any like favorites. I would just say the fact that I'm feeling very, very good. I'm feeling inspired to work on projects which are unique. I like to work on projects which do not copy somebody else's flow. Do not copy somebody else's beat structure. Don't copy somebody else's image and character. You have to have your own. Same like if you'll just mention, there is one Kendrick Lamar. It can't be two of them, right?
Say that again.
It's one Kendrick Lamar.
Say that again.
There is one Kendrick Lamar.
Say that again.
There is one Kendrick Lamar.
He a fan, he a fan, he a fan.
They not like us.
I mean, normal fan, not like...
I know when it's a banger there.
Yeah, man. So basically, I mean, I like that answer. I mean, it sounds like... So, I mean, going on from that, then that means the experience must be sort of new every time you get to work with a new artist, and since they're all different and you get to like pull something out of it. So what's like... So in terms of artists you work with, what's sort of like the best things you've learned then working with them?
I would say the most important thing is being able to put yourself in the spot of the other person, which is empathy and patience. Two basic things which people sometimes just forget about, right?
But that's like emotional intelligence.
100%.
When it comes to empathy, like
100%.
you have to have emotional intelligence to have empathy, and like, yeah, bro, I've seen a lot of people that like, yeah, bro, exactly, yeah, it's quite rare, unfortunately, it seems.
But
that's part of the whole new age, bro. It's like
for sure
spreading these good vibes and awareness, bro. Like yeah, and empathy is a very important thing. Like, if everyone had empathy, like, think how great the world would be. You know?
Yeah. Plus, no matter how different the projects get, if you don't have that basic level of communication, understanding of what the person goes through, you will not be able to actually bring value to the project, rather than just your own imprint, which not all the time is the best thing to do. Sometimes it has to be a synergy, it has to be a collaborative type of an emotion that you have to bring to the table. And if you work with somebody who doesn't have the same vision as you do, and somebody who wants to push something which does not belong to your specific color of sound, to your specific emotion, then the project is not in line. The instruments are not in line with the voice. Even the actual mix of the track, in comparison with like how the voice sounds like, and those guitars in the background, they would not sound very very nice, you know?
Yeah. Well, bro, like, tell you what do you think of Lightworker? That album, like, cause you made sort of like, yeah, probably like half of it, like maybe slightly more. Like Jay Young's made like sort of the other half, but yeah, bro, what do you think of that album, bro?
Shout out to my guy Tim.
Yeah, shout out to Tim over there.
Sanctions.
So the album itself is actually tricky to explain. It's actually very hard to find the words to be able to explain this album, because it ain't a busy album. It is not one of those albums full of like punchy kicks and like very like powerful 808s, but it's food for the soul, right? It is something which you do not hear on a daily basis. It is something very specific, but at the same time it's something very common in terms of the message that you want to send, which is be one with the nature, be good, be soulful, don't be selfless. Be selfless, my apologies, don't be selfish. And then be able to see everybody as one. That's something the community is missing as well, and that's the exact message you are trying just to bring there up front for the people to understand your vision. I loved it. I feel very honored to be able to work on it, and then I really think there are plenty more projects to come when it comes to ourselves. You know,
bro. Well, yeah, of course. Like the main message is to like work with the light. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro, we got yin yang universe on the way, bro. And like, bro, it's crazy because like that album, like I feel like it's already on like, you know, it's as good as like anyone's album, you know what I mean? But now we're like getting into yin yang universe, and it's like better than anyone else's, you know what I mean?
We're leveling up.
In my opinion, yeah, bro. Like we're leveling up. We're the best in the universe, bro. We are. And it's every track we drop now, it's becoming clearer and clearer to see like the message is way deeper. Like there's no one making anything like this.
Fact.
There's no one bringing this message
Fact.
to the world, bro. You know what I mean? It's a very deep thing, and I think I've beginning to see recently like people like waking up to it all a bit more. Like
Wow.
It's a real movement that's going on. So yeah, bro, and yeah, there's something I've noticed about you as well and Tim, is you're the only two people that I think love music as much as I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, as music, it's like everything to us, bro. Like we're like full-time addicts to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I remember someone once told me like music is a time capsule essentially. Like if you think about it, like think about the songs you have in your playlist. If you play them as like you can remember a certain point in time, because music lives with you, right? So you have certain songs in your rotation. Obviously, over like a period of time, you're gonna play. It's eventually gonna fall off. You're gonna play it, but you're always gonna be able to attach that sound to that point in time. If you think about it,
the very best music is timeless.
So time capsule wise as well, what I was about to mention. You see plenty of those hits nowadays. I think I did my research. It's like 10,000 songs a day released when it comes to like iTunes and like Spotify.
Yeah.
If you do manage to have that song which sounds timeless, you don't go for the stunt as I mentioned before as well. You don't go for just like girls like just, you know, shaking butts when it comes to TikToks and stuff. That's different. I'm speaking about something which leaves a long-term memory, a long-term vibe, and a long-term good attitude towards the song itself. Something that you just go back to in 3 years, and it brings back all the memories you used to live like at that time specifically.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have those emotions.
Bro, like you can put on like Comfort from that album, bro. That will always be. I'm sorry, like I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but yeah, bro, like that will always be like the maddest fucking song. Like, bro, that track's different. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I love them all. We've got one of the stickers in the studio as well, and I had plenty of artists coming in and then asking, "What is this?" And I was like, "Just listen." I can't describe it. You know, there is no chance I'll be able to put it in words, right?
Facts. Like when people ask me to like describe it, it's just like, you just gotta like listen to it. Like I feel like the more you go into it, the more you get out of it. You know what I mean? With that album, like it's very deep.
Fact.
But yeah, bro, Yin Yang
Big time.
Universe, it's different, bro. Like it's even better. So yeah.
Nature of human beings is evolving all the time. You always work, become better, and then manage to bring your own value when it comes to things, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you can think about it, the history of humanity is the history of progress, essentially. Like,
very nicely said, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's very good, mate.
Literally, like the humanity tells a story. Because I mean, we even evolved as a species to start with, right? Like scientifically and then historically, it's all about evolution.
Yeah, we're all constantly evolving. Everyone.
Always changing, always the same though. Very interesting paradox. However, going back to change, is there anything you're pivoting towards? Are you looking in a new direction? Because I know sometimes producers go through phases. Are you going in a new direction times two? Are you working with any new sort of artists? What's next for Mr. Choisez?
So I would say genre-wise, as long as you are technically good at things, you would be able to do almost anything. You know the patterns when it comes to a good drill track. You know the patterns when it comes to a good classic hip-hop, when it comes to, let's say, a trap record, when it comes to Afro music as well.
Okay, I like that.
Getting back to that emotional aspect of things, I would say that I am trying to get a bit more when it comes to guitar tracks, guitar-based tracks.
Interesting.
Bro, we'll make some more of them, bro.
Oh, for sure, bro. Yeah, definitely.
Bro, like, we're the most versatile. Like, let's be real.
Trust me. Yeah. Then yeah, having such an amazing team, of amazing people and amazing instrumentalists, right? People who actually feel the music. It just makes you feel so much better about being able to like own it whenever you do the music, right?
Yeah.
Funny enough, you might as well just pick a guitar and do the most aggressive track ever. You might as well pick a flute and create a track which is completely different than anybody else doing it before. So genre-wise, I would say it's mostly a matter of bringing those instruments back to normal and making them nice.
Well, yeah, no, that's what's like interesting. Another thing that's like interesting about Lightworker is like we mostly use like live instruments, and like for most of our songs anyway, to be honest, like, because I feel like it always just brings out like a different vibe, like when you're doing it yourself, you know what I mean, like, and it's not just like on the computer.
It's no loops, it's no splice,
exactly,
it's no
soul,
sample
bro.
packs. Exactly,
it's the soul,
yeah.
you play with your soul, bro.
It's those fingers, it's this mouth, right? It's this brain and it's this emotion inside of you. That's the craziest part. Like you can't replace that. You can't replicate it.
Yeah.
You know? I think what's gonna happen to you, Kobe, in like 5-10 years, you're gonna be sampled because your sound is like iconic already, and then you're gonna have a bunch of like verses like on the tracks that you already recorded.
That'd
because
be
people will realize how important it is to actually bring that humanish, personal touch value to a track, and it's rare, especially nowadays when you've got all the facilities available just to click on one button, import the audio file in your project, and then the song is done. I refuse to work this way, just for the record, big time.
Yeah.
You know? And I bet you do too as well.
Of course, bro. Yeah, no, it has to be something deep, you know what I mean? It can't just be like just some fucking, you know, just put up on record type shit. Nah, it's gotta be like deeper, yeah. For real, yeah.
It's very nice to have like-minded people. And then funny enough, even all of those guys who are well established in Britain, and those guys who have a very, very good fan base as well that I had the chance to work with as well, they appreciate it because they know the value of something which is tailor-made to yourself and something which speaks for itself rather than something which was reused 100 million times before. I'm not saying it's bad to sample. I'm not saying it. I'm saying it's a very nice thing to have a good contrast of things in your project, and it's very important as a musician, because a producer is a musician in the first place. I tend to believe it's nice to be able to play an instrument and to be able to bring value when it comes to something specific there. It's good. It just helps. It brings value to your work.
Of course, bro. It brings so much more like intricacy to your work. That's why like, I started taking out the flute recently, mate.
I was surprised to know. I was surprised to know.
You know what? I was playing it yesterday. Just like it's so like soothing, bro. Like I can't explain. Well, like you know what it's like with a guitar, bro. Like it's like so like soothing for your soul. You know, it's like all the vibrations and stuff it sends out, like just like realigns you. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing. Yeah, bro.
It's your body that coordinates the instrument, right? It's not digital. It's not like zeros and ones everywhere, because that's the way computer bases are working, right? It's a matter of those vibrations within, which send our sound vibrations, and those vibrations are being captured by the mic. And I'm being a nerd again, guys. I'm a big nerd myself. And then those sound waves, they are being transformed in amperages, and then it gets into the computer, and then you're able to also bring a bit of value when tweaking it and making it even better, right? You combine it with that beautiful voice of yours, bro. You know, you just bring that value to the project and they bring it to life right away. And then whenever somebody hears it, they're gonna be like, what the fuck is this, bro? That sounds great, you know?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you need to do, to touch those listeners, to touch everybody who listens to your music.
Well, bro, it's the universal law of vibration.
I remember you were the one who told me about that.
Yeah, it's like everything vibrates at a molecule level even. So yeah, like music it's like sound vibrations and sound waves.
Yeah, I think if you think about it, remember like today, like I like showed you a song and literally them two showed each other the song, and it was like weird, like we already vibing music we hadn't even met.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was
Exactly.
weird.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the name of that song?
So the song was Fall Back by Liv, and I showed Breeze the song, and Choisez showed Tim
yeah,
the
on
song
the way.
as well on their way here, but I hadn't even met
Yeah, that
Choisez
was
yet.
crazy.
And that was just like
The same day we showed
synergy.
each other like
Yeah.
the same song. Like,
Yeah, so
that is synergy right there.
that's insane.
As Kobe says, is the higher plan, and as I say, big time.
Exactly.
So one thing I wanted to know, why the name Choisez?
Very good question, by the way. Essentially,
Yeah.
choices plus it's misspelled, right? People usually think it's French because there is a Z in the end, right? It was more of a matter of having plenty of options and choosing a specific path. So from the variety of things you can do in your life, there are certain things you eventually end up doing. And it's a very good like contrast and a very good resemblance of your previous experiences, of anything that happened to you before, and then also the people you had a chance to meet, anybody who inspired you. Same as we spoke about the music, like impact on the kids before, right? Everything and everybody has like a certain impact and a certain weight when it comes to your life. Those are the choices that felt bring you to life and then change your direction when it comes to your pathway to success, your endeavor itself, you know? I found it very like generic, general, and specific at the same time.
Yeah.
It's the contrast, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. So it's kind of has a very ambiguous meaning. It can mean everything or one thing, essentially. I like.
Everybody's gonna interpret it through their own lens, right? Same as music.
Yeah.
Same as music. You do see things from your personal perspective. And then whenever like I have something in mind and I'm trying to implement my vision into reality, it's still gonna be, let's say you're a listener or you're a person who I want to focus on to make you happy when it comes to my music.
Yeah.
You're still gonna see it as a different thing than what I was trying to show you in the first place. Of course you're gonna feel the resemblance. Of course you're gonna feel what I stand for as well. But then the way a person is gonna approach this music and the way those memories are gonna like get implemented in your brain, in your body, in your soul is gonna be completely up to you, to your experiences, and to your own persona, who you actually are right now. So very specific and very generic at the same time.
Okay, that's interesting. So are there any producers that are sort of like you inspired by, or you sort of like work with now you think they are really cool? So I'm looking at Sabizuku. What I'm asking is past inspirations and presence of like people you think are cool.
One of the most iconic albums for myself is Trilogy by The Weeknd.
Okay.
So I was following Elangelo Montagnis. That's his producer name.
Okay.
For a long while, I very much always loved what he used to do when it comes to his guitars in the songs. I remember we used to listen to The Morning together.
Album. Yeah, it's an incredible album, bro. I think, that was like one of the first albums like I remember I was speaking about, because I remember saying, like Trilogies. Yeah, I fucking loved that album. Like,
I loved it as well so much. He was the guy who was there for him for The Weeknd, for Abel, right? He was there for him in order to bring that vision to reality. They both aligned very well. He was very good in creating that ambience, right? In creating those fluctuations in the sound, because it was not just a straight kick and just a snare there and there. It was a bit more on that alternative, a bit more personal side, and that's why they touched so many people, you know? I'm not saying the fact that it's not good to be able to bring that music for billboards and radios, but I think that everybody who is on those billboards, at least most of them now, they're the people who started with very, very personal, emotional, from the perspective of you being yourself, true to yourself, type of a vibe, you know? So that's why I loved him. There is Louis Ball as well. Louis Ball is the engineer of Post Malone, the producer as well. He was producing that song. He was producing like most of the Stoney songs when it comes to the album itself. And what I liked about him as well was the fact that he's got all the technical skills, and he's got the inspiration as well in himself, right? He did White Iverson, if I'm not wrong. He did Butter Now. He did most of the tracks on the latest album as well. Bourbons and Bentleys was great, and then there was that track. It starts with Take My Own Life, which inspired me so much. I can't even remember the name right now. I just remember the vibe on the chords. He was actually playing the pianos himself.
Well, that doesn't sound like the best like intro to a song ever. Like,
depends, you know. It's just a matter of perspective, I guess. Take My Own Life just to save yours. It was the intro track in the album, actually.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So whenever somebody
Post Malone's fucking sick as well.
He's amazing, bro. He's an amazing soul as well. I'm so inspired by seeing him.
He's a good guy, man.
And the way he treats the people that listen to his music, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You don't manage to be like that when you have such a big level of popularity and such a big level of admiration.
No, I met him like a few years ago. Like
Did you?
A while ago, yeah.
I did not know about this, bro.
Yeah, because of my boy Kwam. Like, shout outs to Kwam. But yeah, no, I met Posty, and yeah, he was a very good guy, bro.
Yeah, I always like his vibe.
You can always like tell like deeper, you know what I mean? Like some people, you know what I mean? Like some people like I used to like respect like a lot and kind of look up to, and now like I just not so much. Like when I'm a bit older and wiser, but Posty's always been good.
You grow up and you evolve in terms of your views, so I understand where you're coming from.
You become more open-minded as well.
Yeah.
And they're being able to also meet people from different backgrounds, from different fields, right? And they also have their impact on you. Always.
Yeah. That's very nice. So in general, what is your message to any young producer out there that wants to get started?
I would say learn the rules and then break them fully. Be able to be in touch with the way great people used to do it before, and then put your own color of things in it. But don't be shy on the research. Don't be shy on the fact that you have to take that time to be able to become great.
Yeah, there's no substitute for like hard work and talent.
Yeah.
Like you gotta have the two things together to like make everything work.
You'll never lose time by becoming better, by studying a bit. And it does not mean that you have to have a specific way of studying life, right? People around you. Surround yourself with the people who are like-minded. Get rid of those toxicity moments when it comes to friendships. Those energy vampires. Right away, get rid of them from your life. If a relationship with a person is more than 30% unpleasantness, right away, with no remorse, even if it's family, even if it's very, very close people when it comes to your life, keep them away. Have some distance, be in your own headspace and manage to become better. Because we are people, we are sensitive creatures. We need to be surrounded by people who inspire us and who make us feel better, and somebody who brings value in our lives.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, I feel like it's important to like show people like loyalty sometimes, you know, because say you got like a long-term friend or whatever, and they might have gone through like a bad phase or whatever. I think it's important you can still like love them from a distance and like just kind of be there for them, but not like 100% there, you know what I mean? But you're still there. And then when they're better, hopefully you can even like say to them like, I just think you need to like fix up a bit or whatever. And then that's being like a real friend, that's being like a good friend. But no, you're absolutely right. Like
makes sense.
At the same time, like people are sometimes very toxic, and I've had to, you know, just like block certain people and cut them out of my life before as well, because they were just being toxic. Where at the end of the day, I've got to like care for everyone. You know what I mean? I can't have someone like if someone's draining my energy, how can I like care for everyone, you know what I mean? So you're right, it's true, like you have to be selfish to be selfless in a way sometimes. Yeah,
and also you'll notice how you attract what you are as well. And in case if you manage to, you know, cross that like gap, I guess, of just pleasing everybody, and you focus on the fact that I know what I want, I know how I am, I know the fact that people like me actually exist, and they are there. And if you're standing for good, and if you're standing for just like pleasant emotions, for just good energies when it comes to people, then you're gonna find plenty of like-minded people joining you on your way to success. Always. It's always like that. Even those collaborations that I told you about, Louis Bell and Post Malone, and then Elangelo, Montagnier and The Weeknd, I bet they had to match those energies and vibes, and they have to be on the specific same wavelength in order to be able to be moving forward together, because after all these years, right, they still drop albums together, they still make music together, and I bet they still spend some good time together outside of the music, because they have to understand each other, you know, in order to create those bangers, those amazing songs, that food for the soul you listen to, you know?
They gotta have the synergy.
That makes a lot of sense. So, I mean, thank you, Choisez, for being such an amazing interview today.
It was a pleasure.
It was much more than I expected. I expected a good interview, but I mean, we went in a different direction, and the depth you brought, you know, it's kind of like reflected depth in your music as well. So,
like the heart of the new age.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm very thankful to be here as well, guys.
Yeah, we've got a very important mission, bro, and it's great work we're doing. So thanks for coming, bro.
Bro, it was a big pleasure. Thank you so much for having me,
bro. So
that guy.
Appreciate it.
Peace, bro.
Peace. Let's go cook up some madnesses now. Love.